fits nicely between the two. I think he's got a bit bigger foot than the second place bull. I think maybe just a little bit more stifle to him. Just a real stout made bull. He's got some shape and he's got some muscle to him, and probably the biggest footed bull in the class. Bull in second, like I said, very soggy. He's not quite as attractive up through his front end. He's not quite as clean up through his front end as the first place bull, but still a bull. Really appreciate the depth of rib that he has and the middle third that he has, and he's got some hip to him as well. The bull in third, long spine bull. He's got a lot of shape to him. Just like to see a bit more lower third to compete with the two bulls above him. Just maybe like to free him up a little bit when he gets out and starts traveling. But 3 strong bull calves here, 6 strong ones in this intermediate division.
Thank you, Colton. So your intermediate division championship in the Black Angus show is the entry from Boss Like Genetics, First Class Marketing, and White Rock Ranch. That's entry 1116, Boss Like Bonafides, 929G. And your reserve intermediate division champion, the added entry 1041. That is a February 5th bull calf from Greenwood at Lloydminster. That's Greenwood Game Night, JJP 74G. And in third place, entry 1118 from Lazy MC Angus of Bazzano with Lazy MC Dealer 138G. Also, we want to recognize Avalon Angus, Crooked Creek Angus, and Family Ties Angus for contending in that intermediate division. Next up is a pretty hefty class. Judge Hamilton, this is our senior bull calf division. These are our January born Black Angus bull calves. There should be 8 entries in this class, 8 entries in our senior bull calf division.
One of our major sponsors of Farm Fair International is Federated Co-op, which you can see their display over along the north, along the Hall C wall, let's just call it that, right here in Hall B. Throughout the years, your co-op has been here for you. If you happen to have forgot something, you can find the co-op exhibitor supply right here in Hall B. Co-op is part of the fabric of Western Canada, serving communities for generations. We're very proud of the longtime support of Federated Co-op at Farm Fair International.
A minute, like the world was only spinning around for us. Started a fire and we jumped in it, hotter than the center of the sun. Slow kissing in a fast car, jeans sliding off in the rain. Yeah, tonight it's got me smiling, buzzing on the memories we made. Here's to those days. I hope a margarita puts you on the coast with me. A cold Corona takes you down to Mexico. And baby, when you take a sip of got so drunk at your apartment playing air guitar like we were Guns N' Roses. We were too damn good to forget about, so girl, I'm raising one up now to the moments I'm still holding. I hope a margarita puts you on the coast with me. A cold Corona takes you down to Mexico. And baby, when you take a sip of some strong whiskey, does it put you in that dive bar, stealing my heart in a corner booth way down in Baton Rouge, baby? 'Cause baby, after all of this time, one little sip and I miss you like crazy. Tell me, baby, do you drink about me the way I drink about you? If you drink about me, baby, when you do.
And we're ready now with comments from our judge on the third split of intermediate Charolais heifer calves.
I really like this class winner, a female that I think does a lot of good things for me. Not only is she flexible with a lot of reach off of both ends, she does it in a really pretty balanced package. A female I questioned right when she came in this ring, especially in this class, if she had enough go and enough, total substance, but I think she does, and I think quality outweighs quantity in my mind, especially when you start analyzing structure. So I really like that one up front. If I were to change her, I'd probably just give her a little bit more forerib and just smoothing her out from shoulder to the center portion with just a little more explosiveness in her forerib, but I think a female that's pretty well designed. I really like this heifer on the standstill, this one in second. She's big and boxy. She's got a lot of top, a lot of muscle and total dimension. Where I get concerned when she's coming at you, she's throwing her back legs, a little bit uncoordinated, if you will, on the move. And I see her as just a little straighter in her hock as she stands there today. But I think a female that if you're going to tie into one with power and dimension and some look to her with some balance, she's the one to do it. I just question at this stage of the game from a longevity standpoint with how she's throwing those back wheels out as she comes at you. I really like a heifer here in third that kind of, just kind of common in the way she's put together, but I think it's in a good way. She doesn't really blow you away in terms of stature or, with a real cool look, but she's pretty well designed as well. For me, she's probably reads as the earliest maturing heifer in this class, being shorter in terms of her cannon bone. For me, I think she's also probably the farthest along in terms of her condition. I prefer them just a little leaner, like our class winner, if I'm picking and choosing them. And in a class with this much quality, I can kind of decipher some of those things to my liking when you have something to work with. I think a female that you really like the muscle shape in. I like how she carries it deep down into her stifle and into her twist. But for me, just a little heavier condition, just a little more common from her shoulders forward compared to the two that win the class. The female that stands in fourth is a female that I think you really have to love the maternal rib shape in this heifer. She's probably the deepest bodied female in this class, and that's what I really like about her. For me, I read her as just a little more upright in terms of the angle of her shoulder, and you can notice that when she gets set in motion, she does want to get just a little higher in her spine. But a female that's really highly presented. I love the maternal shape to that center portion of her body. We just need to relax her in terms of her angles. A good calf that we come to next, that a female that things I'd change about her just off her front end. I'd square her up on her front too when you set her in motion. But a female that I think is just a really nice, honest type of female. Doesn't really wow you, but I really think that hits you really honestly, and a female that there's pieces that you really like, how level she is out of her hip, how sound she is underneath in terms of her lines from her chest to her flank. Just a female we want to straighten up on her front too. The female we round the class out with is definitely the pounds heavy, large outlined heifer in the class. When you start analyzing these last couple, I love that growth potential, that large outline. I would change a few things in terms of her structure, just square her up out of her hip and give her a little more coordination out of her hock and her pastern when set in motion. But a female, that growth potential that definitely needs to be noted.
Thank you, Judge Hertz. First place and advancing to our next class, the Intermediate Heifer Calf Championship, entry 1241, KR Gloria 906G for KR Land and Cattle Limited, the Phillips family of Wasetna. And in second, also advancing, MVY Precious 36G from McAvoy Charolais. entry 1248. Moving down the placings on Group 3 in your show program, entry 1262 is 5th, 1235 6th, 1268 3rd, 1241 1st, 1248 2nd, and 1249 is 4th in class. Next up, our intermediate championship.
Over in ring number 2, this is our class 26. This is our senior bull calf division. This is our January-born Black Angus calves. Our judge Colton Hamilton is deliberating on his final top 3 placings. Of course, we know that our senior bull calf champions will come back for our champion drive in the Black Angus overall champion bull.
Well, in ring number 1, our intermediate heifer calves are coming in for their championship. So let's reintroduce you to the top 2 in each of the preceding 3 classes, the contenders. First place from our first split, entry 1253. Elders Design 928G from Elder Charolais. And second place in that class, entry 1236, JWX Glam 1102G from Wilgenbush. From our second split, entry 1273, Miss Prairie Cove 930G is the class winner for the Bullocks of Prairie Cove. And in second place, McLeod Livestock with entry 1257, CML Evita 943G. And from our split that just left the ring, the class winner was KR Land and Cattle Company, the Phillips family, with entry 1241, KR Gloria 906G. Second place, entry 1248 from McAvoy Charolais, MVY Precious 36G. In ring number 1, this is our intermediate Charolais Heifer Calf Championship for Judge Tyson Hertz.
All right, with that, we're going to have comments on our Senior Bull Calf Championship from Judge Colton Hamilton.
Well, I think this is probably the most interesting class we've had here today in terms of calves and bulls with different types and different styles. The Bullets at the front, he's an outlier in this class. He's probably an outlier in terms of what we've seen in the entire bull show so far, just the way that he's made. He's extremely heavily muscled, massive hipped bull. He's got a lot of length of body to him. I like the head and the skull that he has. He's got big feet. I'd like to see him stronger in his forerib, especially compared to this bull in second. I think you know, he's a bull that you have to take that massive hip and that power along with, you know, maybe being a touch coarser, and a bull that kind of was either needing to be first or third, I think, of these 3. He doesn't quite fit with the other 2 bulls, but a bull that we definitely have to appreciate nonetheless for what he is. The Bullets in second is probably you know, I really like him from the profile. He's really a nice made bull. He's got some top to him. He's stronger in his forerib than the bull that leads off the class. He's got a nice hip to him. He maybe doesn't quite have the length. He maybe doesn't have the overall extreme growth that this first place bull has, but still a bull that I really like here in second. And the bull in third, I think, follows along in terms of type with the second place bull. He's not quite as stout. He doesn't have as much lower third. He doesn't have as much stifle as the top 2 bulls, but a bull that's made real nice. He's got some depth of rib to him. Again, he's got some starting to show some masculinity, but 3 interesting calves here up at the top of this division, and definitely a real outlier to win this senior bull calf division.
Thank you, Colton. We'll just do some quick results before we pass it on to Rob. Entry 1130 was our senior bull calf champion. That's DMM Maximus 18G, exhibited by Miller Wilson Angus of Bashaw and Little Willow Creek Ranch. And your reserve senior bull calf champion, entry 1123, JKC Covert 003G, exhibited by Peterson Livestock of Edgerton and Clement Coat Farms. Third in class, entry 1129, that's DMM Canadian Classic 12G, exhibited by Miller Wilson Angus. We'd also like to shout out to the exhibitors in that class: Greenwood, Dwejo Angus, Brandel Cattle Company, MWC Investments, and Dwejo Angus again. Rob, over to you.
In our Charolais ring number 1, Judge Tyson Hertz will comment now on his declaration of his intermediate heifer calf champions.
I don't usually talk too